Welcome back to Loose Women. With me, Andrea McLean, today are Lesley, Garrett, Carol McGiffin and Sherry Hewson. Later on, we speak with two sisters who are definitely in the mood for more than dancing. They're the fantastic Bernie and Linda Nolan. Now, a Belgian teenager has been left seeing stars after she emerged from a tattoo parlour sporting 56 of them all over her face. Now, she says that she only asked for 3, and she claims she nodded off during the procedure and only woke up after the mistake had been made. So she looks like she's got a rather permanent reminder of that little snooze that he had there. What have we ever had 40 winks and made us miss out on anything or get more than we bargained for?
I tell you what, though, I was in a play once, I don't know if you know it, Man for All Seasons, about Thomas More. And I was playing his wife, and I'd gone to the jail, and I was sitting in the jail, and he comes downstairs, and he gives this whole long speech about why he has to die, and it's very serious and very emotional, and I went... I love his speech! I kept feeling somebody doing this, I kept going... like this. And I woke up and went, oh, wait! And then I realised where I was, and there was all this audience sitting there. He was so angry, I don't know. It's awful. Oh. So that was my awful story, but never again.
They might have thought it was part of the script. Yeah.
No, not if you know, not when he's...
Well, I don't. I would have thought, oh, look, that's good. She's got gets to have a little nap.
You know, he just wanted his wife to save him from being hung.
Well, it's easily done, though, isn't it?
You know, have you ever missed a flight or anything, nodding off?
I've never missed a flight, but a couple of times I've fallen asleep on trains and ended up somewhere else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people do that, actually, because there was a time, you know, when I'd just moved back up to London, I had to move back down to Kent, stay with my mum. I had to get the train back up, and it was a nightmare. But going home, for some reason, I always used to get the last train. And, you know, I might have been out for a few glasses of wine back in those days, you know, when I used to go out drinking. And I used to fall asleep on the train. And I used to say to people, can you wait me up? I'm trying to get with Maidstone. And they obviously tried, but, you know, nothing. And I'd end up in, like, somewhere like Margate or Folkestone or, like, you know, down the seaside. And one night I woke up and the train was actually in the siding with all the doors shut and the lights off. And I was like, oh, God, I was horrified. But it was the fact that the lights had gone off that had woken me up. So I obviously don't do that anymore.
If you're ever on that train, there is a little plaque that says, Carol slept here.
I fell asleep on the night bus as well once. I don't even ask.
You know, when I used to do the weather, obviously it's really early in the morning, and, you know, everyone thinks you all look all bright and cheery and breezy, but you're not. You're just as tired as everyone at home, you know, in their dressing gown. And if you watch GMTV regularly, you'll know this. I probably a handful of times nearly missed the weather, because I just... Well, you know, it's a bit chilly in winter time, so you put the heater on in your dressing room, and you sit there, and I'd kind of, if Penny wasn't sort of kicking me to one side to use a computer, because we shared a dressing room, and she's a bit bossy. Hi, Penny. If I was on my own, you kind of put your feet up, and then it's warm, and then you kind of nod off, and it would be like, you know, Pavlov's dogs. I'd hear the little jingle that would come on before the weather, and I'd wake up and go, and be running down. The amount of times that they would come up, you know, GMTV weather, and you'd see me going, hello, like this. I never actually properly missed it, apart from once when I was making a cup of tea for the cameraman when we were out, and I came back and they went, it's too late, you've missed it.
Oh, no!
But I wasn't asleep then, I was just being nice.
So nobody had any weather that day?
There was no weather that day, because I was busy getting tea and cakes for the crew.
But it is fatal, isn't it, when they turn the heating up? That is I've never actually fallen asleep myself. I think I'm just a bit too wired for that, probably. But I do remember once when I was giving a concert. It was for Sane, actually. You know that charity Sane? It was a charity event with fundraising. And the very lovely, because I'm a big fan of his, the very lovely Prince Charles was at this concert. He was sitting right in front of me like that. And I know for a fact it was the 5th event he'd done that day, because they do work hard. And I could see he was a bit tired, and they'd turned the heating up as well. It was the middle of winter. And I was just singing a very quiet song, and I just saw him go. I'll give him a bit of a blast. No end then, you know. So the moral is, do not sing quietly in front of royals. That's what I do.
Okay.